And then we have the NFC North, which I don't know if it's much better with the way that the Lions have been playing, but with the way the Bears defense has been playing, let me ask, do you think there is a chance if the Chicago Bears can make the playoffs?
I don't think there's a chance they can make the playoffs, but I'll transition it into what I thought you were going to ask me something else. So I'll transition to what I thought you were going to ask me. Just maybe, is this regime minus Getsy kind of like maybe pushing themselves for another year?
Okay.
Because at this point, I'm saying to myself, at least if I'm the owner, I'm saying, look, just maybe I see a little something going here. I've been so rigid all year on the whole like Caleb is, and let me be clear, to me personally, Caleb still is a generational guy. That is still the direction I would go. But also on the other hand, I'm also completely being objective. I can also completely understand where if the Bears were like, hey, look, man, Justin seems to be making a lot of strides. Yeah. This defense is really making a lot of strides. It looks like Fluce's system's kind of starting to come together now. And then it's like, but what's really the weak link right now?
Yeah.
Oh, it certainly is the offensive play calling. And so it's like, if we get rid of this guy who is so centric on screens, where it just doesn't make sense when you have a guy like Justin. It just the fusion doesn't really make sense. So let's get this guy out of here and then bring in someone new. And then there's so many problems where if you do that and it doesn't work, everyone's losing their job.
That is the problem, because it's like they're so close to maybe finding something that works. It's like, do you walk? Like, honestly, they could not be making Ryan Poles' job more hard. And that's a good thing for Bears fans if you look at it, because it's really you're really going to be able to tell like who Ryan Poles is after this offseason. And something that I was thinking about like and listening to earlier today is Justin Fields has like traits of elite quarterbacks. Like they're scrambling. Like he is like top of the crop when it comes to rushing quarterbacks. Like talking like Mike Vick, Lamar Jackson level. Like that is the type of player he is. Do you want to walk away from that? Like realistically, Bears fans, do you want to walk away into a question mark right now after you've seen growth from him? And don't get me wrong, I was calling for his job. I was calling for Eberflus's job. But you also do realistically have to look with what the Bears were set up with. They were a garbage team last year.
That's what I'm starting to realize is as I'm seeing more continuity come together, it's like that's the thing is I'm seeing it from both angles. Here's what I really will say. We can finish off with our little Bears little mini rant here. My main last thing. The games against the Browns and the Packers are going to basically tell me all I need to know about if he is the future. The Browns, because electric defense. Let's see how he's grown. If it's another like 50-yard game, a bunch of turnovers, like games like that, it's like, okay, maybe I'm going to, you know what I mean? But then also with the Packers, it's like the type of games you got to show up for. Didn't show up for the first one. You got to be able to play teams like the Packers. You play them twice a year. It's like those are the two games that are going to really tell me what I need to know about this future regime. Can they show up for those?
Right. One last comment about the coaching staff, and then I'll move it over to Detroit. The thing with the Bears coaching staff is, if you don't remember, the Bears fired the defensive coordinator who was calling all of the plays, and Matt Eberflus always talked about being the CEO role. What if he's not like the CEO? Like, he could be a head coach and still be a football guy. Like, don't be the CEO guy. Ever since they got Montez Sweat and Matt Eberflus has gotten in a rhythm calling the defense, they have been a top 5 defense. So
they've been flying. Credit to the Bears.
With one coach ascending and the other team kind of crumbling, do you think Dan Campbell can kind of get this under control?
This goes, I mean, no. Okay, so I'm not to say no, but this goes back to what we were saying last week. I do feel like, unfortunately, and again, I don't want it to be the case. It could still change trajectory, right? But it kind of feels like we're heading into the Lions are slipping into unserious territory, at least this season. But, and I was supposed to think about this. This is where I wanted to offer a little rebuttal, look at it in a positive sense too, though. We've seen teams before start hot, it's really dwindle middle of the season. And then right when it's time to get hot again, if you get hot again, it doesn't matter how the middle of the season was.
This may be the perfect time to get cold.
Exactly. I was going to say, this really might be the perfect time where it was meant to happen. Because if this happened in like 3 or 4 more weeks, you were absolutely screwed. Versus now, hey, you got a chance to, the roller coaster went down. I use my roller coaster analogy. You started like this, went back down. Wait a minute, there's one more. And I got a morning alarm going off because we're doing the morning show. But you get what I'm saying. The roller coaster went up, down, but just maybe is there one more, you know what I mean? Are we going up one more time? I guess we're going to find out what type of roller coaster it is.
Amon-Ra and Laporta got held to almost nothing on the ground. Jared Goff
again. That was another thing I want to say. A little bit of a 2-week trend here. Hopefully not something that continues for Lions fans.
Well, I guess kind of to finish this game off, because he is a potential head coaching candidate next year for possibly the Bears if they don't move on. Ben Johnson. This has been my concern with the head coaching talks. I don't want another coordinator. I want a guy that has known, like, that's why I'm so adamant on Harbaugh, because my thing is, you're trying to bring a guy in to fix a quarterback. What about the other 52 positions on the field, or 52 players?
And no, don't get me wrong. We've been saying this for like 2 years now. This is not even anything new. Like, genuinely on this pod, if you've been a long time listener, you're seriously, you know at this point. Ben Johnson, we love him. We've been giving him, singing the praises forever. But sometimes this year does make me realize that he's definitely not the perfect offensive coordinator he makes him out to be. And like, in this game is a perfect example. Sometimes his main thing is he gets way too addicted to throwing that thing when the ground game is working.
Yeah.
Like, you'll be looking and you'll be like, wow, they just chucked
why
out
they take
6
running
yards
back
in
in the first round.
And they'll throw it twice. It's on 2nd and 4, 3rd and 4. You're like, I don't understand. Maybe help me out here. And it happens a lot. But at the same time, he's creative. I get it. And exactly. You took Jahmyr Gibbs this early. And I get it. You wanted a Kamara. Like, that was definitely, you want someone like who can really like switch things up in the pass game and all that. But I mean, if you're not going to bounce it out with the run, that's what the Saints did so well in Kamara's early days, is that Mark Ingram and Kamara pound. And that's what the Lions were doing earlier in the year. For whatever reason, getting away from it a little bit too much recently. And go figure that the pass game, the play action game doesn't work the same when you're not churning out yards.